That's probably why.
I had the hyperlink to minutes and it's not there anymore, but I can go into the R drive and get it from there.
Oh.
Thank you.
Yeah. We'll see what they say.
For this too, right?
We are ready when you are.
Okay, if we're ready, we'll go ahead and bring this meeting to order. Thank you, everyone. Let's see, I'm here. I see Councilmember Baldwin. I think I see half of Councilmember Fullerton. Just kind of screen works. So we're good there. We'll go to approval of minutes. Were there any issues with the minutes? Anybody saw?
No.
Okay, I didn't see any. So minutes are approved. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I did. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you saw it.
Yes, sorry. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Sorry.
Did you turn it?
Page 3. No, I did not.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Just says to forward it to their fiance. It should say finance.
Yeah, page 3.
Is that on this one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the draft minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, page 3.
Where does it say that?
Right at the bottom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
finance,
I'm sure it was an autocorrect.
Where?
autocorrect, sorry.
We got it, thank you.
All that fiance versus finance.
Did not catch that.
Autocorrect. Okay.
Okay. Anything else, or is that it?
That's awesome.
That's everything. It's like.
Thank you. Good catch. Okay, moving on to personnel update. Mr. Sandler.
Good afternoon, everyone. There was a staffing update in the packet. There have been a few adjustments or changes since that time. Just pointing out the more recent promotions. We have 2 entry-level police officers beginning on the 1st of March.
I'm sorry, doing what on the 1st?
Being hired March 1st. I think they go to the academy May, June timeframe.
And there looks like they're both levels.
They're entry levels.
Oh, Mars.
Up on top on the higher letters,
Mm.
Edward Coughlin III and Tristan.
Okay.
Yeah. Then we have promotions in the court. Terry will be promoted to Judicial Specialist 3 in March, and Jerry Rank is promoted to the Judicial Branch Manager in March as well. Are there any questions on?
Where are the promotions at?
All right, under the higher letters as well.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th and 6th down, Terry and Jerry, right?
I don't think we have that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
You have
This is an update.
a more updated one than what was in the packet.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, how did you get that one?
I don't, you know.
I just handed it out. Just,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Sorry for the
I didn't
confusion.
know that one. Okay. Well enough, I haven't. I guess, okay.
All right. When you get a chance, can you,
You want me to send you a picture?
I'll scan it, send it to it.
Okay.
I didn't see I'm looking at a receipt of applications. Don't we currently have a CSO? Are we looking for another one?
We have a retirement coming up, Christine Yanez
Gotcha. Okay.
in April. And again, that wasn't on the previous list. It will be on the updated one. So we were receiving applications, and we do have interviews on January 30th for the community service officer, as well as an internal city engineer recruitment.
okay. Is that it?
And I apologize, there's one more on here that they just keep coming. Lance Johnson was promoted to assistant public works superintendent for sewer parks and facilities.
And is that under higher letters also?
No, that
It's
one.
one
not on there at all.
packet.
It's just, it's one I missed.
Oh,
I
okay.
apologize.
Yeah. right
Oh,
there.
this one here. Okay, got it. It's on this one too. Okay.
Yeah.
Johnson, Assistant Public Works Superintendent, okay.
So yeah, a lot of movement already in the beginning of the year.
Any questions?
Not
Did
for
you
me.
say something? No, not currently.
Sometimes I
Thank
think
you.
no, but then there's just a delay, so I'm trying to figure out, are we done? Not.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
We'll move on to
Uh,
action items. AB 2010, this is resolution 3195, Murray's disposal notice of 2024 rate adjustment.
Yes, so this is, comes to city council annually. It's a notice of rate adjustment from Murray. In our agreement with them, we had the most recent amendment was in 2022. So we did do a rate adjustment in 2023. So this is for 2024. In section 7A, it provides for an annual CPI adjustment equal to 100% of the change in CPI for all urban consumers. So the CPI change for this period is 5.44%, and that is in your packet. And on the attachment, it shows what that rates would be. In section 7B of the amendment number 3 provides for disposal fee adjustments to be made to collection rates. And that is due to the increase or decrease in landfill and disposal cost. And Murray's received notice from Pierce County that the landfill rates are going to increase from $171.23 per ton to $174.84 per ton. And this is the next section is section 7D of the amendment allows for the contractor to apply to the city for rate adjustments to reflect unforeseen costs arising during the term of the agreement. This is the first time they're coming forward with this one. There was a recent implementation of the Washington's Climate Commitment Act. So Murray's has begun incurring a carbon fee on all fuel purchases. And the current impact of passing through the carbon fee for residential customers is 19 cents per month. The impact for commercial customers range from 28 cents per month to $2.84 per month, depending on the customer's level of requested service. So in the packet, and then Stephen Hopkins is here. He's the district manager for Murray, so he's available to answer any questions. He is newer to this role. Previously, it was Josh Metcalf, who we had for years, but he has worked with Josh for a very long time, so he's familiar with the process as well. Can answer any questions you may have. In the packet under Exhibit A, if you wanted to see what that would look like in the fees, Exhibit A shows what those fees would look like for 2024, and that will go into effect March 1st.
I mean, I'm just assuming that, you're just passing on what Washington State is making you do.
Correct. So essentially, Mike can kind of elaborate a little bit on how do we come up with the number and where it comes from or anything along those lines. So the carbon fee that we incur, it changes really day to day based upon the trading market of the carbon.
Yeah.
And so each invoice will change. We've been upwards of 74, 75 cents a gallon and downwards of about 40 cents a gallon. And it really just fluctuates up and down. So we found that this probably is going to be the best way of addressing this as we're looking at it from behind. So 2023, it's 58 cents a gallon on average for the year. So this is a breakout of not just Bonney Lake, obviously, it's every one of our customers. And it's based on fuel usage to go past their residence, essentially. And so that's where that price comes from. And the difference in fees for commercial is based on if it's a 1 time a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, and so on and so forth. But there wouldn't be a change between a 35 gallon to a 65 gallon like residentially, because it's the same carbon footprint for us to be going through. So that's where that adjustment's made up and down. And instead of trying to adjust it month to month or as we go, which would be very complicated and create a lot of confusion, we felt like this would probably be the best way. We would follow, city recommendations, but kind of where we would look at it would be a line item on the bill itself.
Yeah.
So that they would see exactly where it is. We don't want this embedded in the rates. It would have to come up before council every single year to kind of readdress, to make sure that this is something that was still creating an impact. Murray's goes through roughly 3,000 gallons of fuel a day. It's which results in about $500,000 a year in this additional fee. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Now, there is talk in the legislation of possibly repeal or change the law, things of that nature.
Oh, okay.
And this would also leave us the opportunity to be able to remove, if something was to change, we would remove it automatically. We aren't after additional, we're just trying to keep, kind of whole on that.
Yeah.
So is this 19 cents for, residential, is that gonna fluctuate monthly, or is this like,
It would be flat every month, and then next year we would bring, okay, here's where ours was, and this is what the impact would be. So let's say it came down, maybe we come back and say, okay, this year we're looking at 14 cents. And then you guys could make a determination if that's something that you want to continue on. But no, we would not fluctuate a month to month. I feel that would create a confusion. It would be kind of hard to track. Obviously, we're the way we want to approach this is full transparency. So anytime that an audit of our records wanted to be seen for as far as our fuel usage, anything along those lines, we would be very happy to cooperate in all that kind of manner. We just want to be full transparency on this one, just because it's a little bit of a complicated subject.
yeah, very.
All right. And essentially, this is just a pass through from the state because of the Climate Commitment Act. I appreciate you marking that down on their bill. I think that's super important that they understand. The customers understand that that's where that's coming from. It's not coming from local government. It's coming from.
Yes.
And something that could be repealed if they do that, that would be awesome. Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
Any other questions from council on that?
No, I mean,
Okay. It looks like that's for what, February 13th?
Yes.
Okay. I don't see a problem with that. You want that consent?
Yeah, you think that would be okay on the consent?
Yeah.
yeah, I think that one would be fine.
I don't think Kelly will pull that one off. So,
All right, thank you.
all right. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, we'll
Thank
move
you.
on to the
All right.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you guys taking the opportunity.
Yeah. Thank you.
Stephen Hoffman. And I will get an email out soon to all the council members, especially with me being and any other city staff that they'll like an opportunity to kind of chat with me on, what ways we can be better involved in the community. We want to be very, very in tune with that kind of stuff. So please reach out to me. Please reach.
Awesome,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much. And Stephen, we mentioned that Jason also, so I think he's gonna be about what you emailed me about it.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, we're going to move on to the next discussion item, AB 24-09. It's motion the same, M24-09. Simple possession, advocacy, and representation, SPAR program funding.
Yeah, so we received funding, so we applied for a funding through the Washington State Office of Public Defense for this SPAR program funding. And it helps cover costs through our public defender for particular cases. And Dina is here because she is more knowledgeable than I am, but it's for very specific cases. So ordinances involving allegations or possession or public use of controlled substance, counterfeit substance, or legend drugs. So consistent with the second substitute Senate bill. And then it goes on into detail in the agenda bill. But the city has been awarded $250,000 that we would be reimbursed up to that amount from the state for this funding for cases that fall under this account. They're seeing I think, an increase in these types of cases due to bills. So they have like new funding available. And so this is the start of that. It's reimbursable starting from August of 2023 to the end of June of this year. And then they see that they're going to be having funding through 2027, June of 2027. So we will most likely be eligible to receive funding, $250,000 each year up to then. So, and that would help. So when our public defender has cases that qualify, we would be able to submit those to the state for to be reimbursed.
Yeah, just based on reading this, I'm assuming that no matter what type of case you have or whatever the charges are, you have to provide defense only,
That's
right?
correct. The city has to provide a.
Yeah, and so this is just, other than thoughts I have outside of that. But yeah, you have to do it anyways. So that's what I'm going to say. I'll just say.
So may as well get it reimbursed.
Right.
Make them pay for their new laws.
Yeah.
Sherry,
Yeah.
I do have a question, Leslie. If they're actually going to let us backdate this, then I'll need an updated agreement because the auditor will say that the agreement period shows January 1st, 2024 on the
Okay.
front of your paperwork. And the
Yeah.
auditor won't let us have August through December 2023 if this agreement period is not updated.
All right, so, in this agreement, though, even though it's for January 1st, it does outline that it would be for expenses in August 30th and maybe, or August 15th.
15th, yeah.
It kind of does. It says under H, it says that their period runs July to June, which we all in finance understand that. It says recipient must submit invoices for costs incurred between August 15th and between those dates by June. Great question. I don't know how the auditor would take it. If you can get them to update the agreement, that'd be ideal. If you can't, I can certainly push with the auditor that it talks about in there that invoices incurred between the 15th of August. I just don't know. They're being pretty picky this period, so.
Okay, maybe if we can just maybe confirm that, because,
Yeah, because you don't see it until June.
yeah, so we will, so yeah, because since this is a new program, so we're like starting January 1st, but since their fiscal year starts in August, so that's why they're allowing us to go back, because this program just started. So, but they're allowing us to go back to August to request a reimbursement.
When was this program implemented?
Just now,
Oh, like
yeah,
January 1st?
it's just starting, yeah. We applied for the funding, like, I think it was in November, because they let us know in December.
And a lot of these are the drug laws that were passed by the state legislature in 2023. So this is now the funding to help cities pay for the public defender for those new drug laws.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just want to take a minute and, acknowledge, Jerry and Kathy from our court staff, Dina in our prosecutor's office, and certainly Leslie. It really was a collaborative effort on, was a 25-page application. It was a very long application, and they all put in a lot of hard work to get this done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
So I do have one question on this, Dina, when it talks about the simple possession, is that going to include where we just had a couple assigned on knowingly possess?
Yeah, that would include those.
Yes.
Okay.
We would backdate, so we would still probably pay the invoice normally, because I don't think we're gonna have the funds
Yeah.
yet, the grant money in our bank account. And then we would do the backdating, like showing the invoice to the state to get it reimbursed.
Okay, okay. Yeah, the main reason I ask is we do a spreadsheet when they get assigned, cases get assigned, and we list the charges on that spreadsheet, which is gonna help tremendously to pinpoint on this grant, what case,
Yeah, well.
how many cases for the charges. So, okay.
All right.
And this is on the consent agenda for tonight.
Okay.
I'm sorry, where is it tonight?
Consent,
Consent? Okay,
yeah.
thank you. Sounds good. Great job. Anytime you can get money from the state or anybody else.
Especially for what.
I was impressed. We like submitted our application and we're like, what number should we use? And so we just were like, okay, well, what is our cost usually? And so not knowing how many of them would actually qualify. So we just threw a number out and we didn't know if you hadn't had any applications yet. So we're like, okay. And they
Great.
came back, so you've been awarded. I'm like, awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. Great job. Everybody there. Okay. So consent, and then we'll move on to the next one. AB 24-11. It's ordinance D 24-11, non-represented employees market wage adjustment.
Yeah, this is a proposed ordinance that would grant our non-represented employees an across-the-board wage adjustment. After we brought the COLA cost of living adjustment for non-represented employees forward, I discussed this with Councilmember Swatman, and he agreed to sponsor it. When council passed the AFSCME collective bargaining agreement here a few weeks back, it not only included the 4.5% cost of living adjustment for represented employees, it also included a 2.5% across the board market wage adjustment. So what we're proposing is that we treat both represented and non-represented employees similarly. I was having trouble pronouncing that. And this ordinance would grant non-represented employees a 2.5% market adjustment effective March 1st of this year.
Is this similar to the numbers that you were talking about before with the leave as far as the amount of persons?
No. Oh, yes. As far as the number of persons, yes, there's 34 non-represented.
Right, okay.
employees. Yes.
Okay. And then these tend to be,
It starts with our recreation. Well, actually, there's bullets. Our recreation coordinator, the executive assistant, the police chief, all the positions are listed there on the back page, but that's 34 employees altogether.
oh, yes, this tiny thing right there.
Yes, this tiny thing.
You can blow it up on your little.
Okay,
I think senior level staff, management, department heads.
okay.
I feel like we've been kind of talking about this for a while and I can support this. I feel like we need to have, marketable wages so that we can get good employees, but not necessarily get new employees, but keep the ones that we have, retain what we have. I think this is a show of good faith that we want to keep our employees happy.
And again, it's on par as to what we granted for represented staff.
When there's a change.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we just did that 3 weeks ago. So,
And the 34 employees with this 2.5% wage increase will then, this is the number that you're looking at, 86,300.
yes,
Okay.
for 2024, with it starting in March 1st.
Okay. And I'm assuming if we're adding that, then in the funding sources are general and utilities.
Yes, depending on the position.
Okay.
Well, most in general, but the small portion of the utilities.
Okay.
And Sherry, we have
How many
the
exists?
finances to be able to cover that.
We have to have bigger discussions, right? You have to pay your employees or they're going to go elsewhere. I'm worried about some employees leaving currently. I won't get into that right now, but you're going to have to figure out a way to pay employees as well as manage our budget. I know it says we have recreation on for the agenda tonight. I don't think we're actually having that conversation, but that's another big expense that was supposed to be a little bit less than what it was, right? So as you know, I'm pretty backlogged right now with everything that I had going on in my personal life. So I'm trying to get everything caught up so that I can kind of give you guys a picture of what's happening with all the budget for our upcoming budget preparation. I'll start that process with the directors usually between May and June and make them have it back to me, you know, August-ish. I'd like to have those conversations a little bit earlier this year. So all that's going to be forthcoming. But yeah, it's all something that I'm going to have to put into the budget with all of the salaries, right? All the increases. They were not budgeted.
Correct.
Carrie, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are we have to pay our employees and a marketable wage so they don't leave. Just as Sherry said, I think it's super important to, you know, be competitive in what we do. We don't have to be necessarily number one, but you need to be competitive. And it's all so far behind that people are leaving strictly because of that, you know, that's a real possibility. So we need to do at least what we can to make sure that doesn't happen. I think there's some other ways and things that we're working on, whether if you regards like rec program or whatnot, maybe that hopefully could alleviate some of that. But I think we'll have to look at that. We'll have to look at, you know, how are we going to raise money as well at the same time. And it's not a popular thing because I don't think anybody wants to, you know, raise tax anything or whatnot, but at the same time, like we have to provide a service. That's why we're here. So that, yeah, those are my thoughts.
So we propose to move it forward to the February 13th agenda. So it's just a matter of consent.
Yeah. I'm thinking we probably need to put it on full council because it'll probably get pulled off if we don't, but
Yeah.
I'm backing this. I stand for this, so.
Yeah, I think it'll just get pulled off anyway. So I think we might as well just do that.
If we discuss it, we can always put it on to consent that evening,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You can always move to amend the agenda and move something from the full council, shoot back on. So,
Okay.
We can go under
Yeah.
the finance committee
Yeah.
and at the end,
Yes.
you can either decide to table or vote on it that night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's put it under finance.
That
Thank
works.
you. Thank you.
Thank you. And then, yeah, the next thing on here is the open committee discussion with, and it's marked recreation program revenue and expenditures. That was a mistake. It's actually supposed to be, I believe, the 13th that we said.
Yes, that's correct. The 13th.
Yeah, so that information is coming, and so we will have that discussion in a couple of weeks. So with that said, is there any open committee discussion?
No.
I have one quick item. Can we talk about the audit and attendance?
Yes, that'd be.
Yes.
So do we want to just know if anybody here is going or?
Yes, so Councilmember Hubler, am I saying that correctly, I hope?
Hubler.
Yeah.
Hubler?
Yeah.
Okay, Hubler expressed wanting to attend that that conference, the exit item, or I'm sorry, the exit. They call it a conference. It's not really a conference. So it keeps sitting in my brain wrong. Anyways, she would like to attend that meeting. And typically it's the finance committee members. So if the two of you would also like to attend, Councilmember Fullerton and Baldwin, then Sadie's going to need to publish this as an open public meeting. And that's kind of what I'm trying to gather where we're at on that.
I did see that, and that looks lovely. However, I do work during the day, every day, Monday through Friday. So
Yeah.
12:30 I'm with students. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about the time. They are
That's okay.
so far
You guys are
behind.
Working at the same time. So yeah, no, that's totally fine. Sure, I understand.
Okay, yeah, I'm working with the auditors on that.
Don't need
and-
to have minutes if you're, or, we don't need to have
Yeah, 'cause if
public
you attend.
record
then
if
it's just
you're
you
not
and
gonna
Carrie.
be there, but
Right.
Carrie's gonna be there. And
Yeah.
is
Sure.
Carrie gonna be there?
Yeah, correct. So if it's Councilmember Fullerton, Deputy Mayor Carter, and Hubler, then we are fine. And we don't need to publish it as an open public meeting. So that would be great.
Okay.
And you, Councilmember Baldwin, you'll get all the information in a packet anyways that we send out, so you won't be missing the information.
Okay, I mean, it's still up in the air whether I'm gonna be the chair of public safety. We have to figure that out too, so.
It'll go to all council members though. The information will go out to all council members.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Any other discussion? All right, I think that's a no. So I think we're good. We'll be adjourned. Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Eric.
Yep. In 30 minutes.